Women in Technology and Cybersecurity Connections programs. Please welcome Saima. We're very glad to have you here. Saima, please go ahead.
Thank you so very much, Ramya. And I am thankful to Canadian Immigrant Conference as well for inviting us to, share the stage, share the opportunity to speak with clients interested in our services at Access Employment. So as Ramya introduced me, once again, this is me, Saima Aziz. I'm the program manager of Women in Technology and Cybersecurity Connections program here at Access, and I've been with the organization for over 7 years. And I will just go ahead and start sharing my screen to begin with my quick presentation. And towards the end of my presentation, I'll be happy to take any questions you have. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Let me put it on slideshow.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, so welcome once again to Access Employment. A quick presentation about our programs and services, and our focus will remain on our technology programs today. Before we talk about our programs and services, I would like to introduce Access Employment as an organization. We have been serving newcomers. We have been serving job seekers for over 35 years. And our vision is a fully inclusive labor force that reflects the diversity, skills, and experience of Canada's population. Our mission at Access, we assist job seekers from diverse backgrounds who are facing barriers to employment to integrate into the Canadian job market. We achieve this by providing employment services to our clients, linking them with employers to skilled people and our clients, and help them build strong networks in collaboration with our community partners. At Access Employment, we have services and programs that are where we offer services as an integrated service model where we customize our support and services to meet the unique needs of employers as well as job seekers. Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen, it is the recent data about our services and our success. 85% of our clients in our recent reports from 2022, our clients that we served or job seekers we served, 85% achieved a positive outcome either in training or employment related goals. And 93% job seekers would recommend our programs and services to others. And I would also like to quickly share one of our success stories. It's actually from one of my programs, Women in Technology, from Tulin. She was served by the program, and this is what she has shared in her testimony, that Access helped her with a resume and prepared her for interviews and helped her connect with employers, with mentors that further helped her gain confidence and helped her upskill in the web development field. And she successfully landed a job that she always wanted to as she moved to Canada. In terms of client profile that we serve at Access Employment, it's pretty diverse when it comes to client profile. As you can see on the screen, when it comes to education, most of our clients have post-secondary or bachelor's degree. When it comes to occupational background, at the top, we have clients come from business, finance, administration, IT, natural, and applied sciences background. And the top 10 countries of origin of our clients, you can see on the screen. And we also have listed for you the top 10 languages that are spoken by our clients as well as our staff at Access Employment. When we talk about job search support, it's incomplete without the strong involvement or support by employers. So at Access, we work very closely with our employer partners to understand their most pressing needs and ensure job seekers are trained and prepared for the workplace with the most current and in-demand skills. So at Access, we have network of over 3,000 employers that we closely work with. And it's not only in GTA, we work with employers from across Canada, and they are from small to medium to large sizes businesses or enterprises. Further about connections with employers. So by joining Access Employment, you will be connected to our network of over 3,000 employers. And what are some of the avenues or opportunities where you can interact with employers? So we offer services such as mock interviews with employer representatives, speed mentoring events, variety of networking and hiring events related to different sectors. And we also offer dedicated job development, job matching and placement support, and targeted job leads to our clients when they join our programs at Access. A little bit more information about some of the programs that we offer at Access Employment. So we offer job search support one-to-one as well as in group or workshops. Regarding our programs and services, most of our programs at this point are online. However, we have some online resources, which I will cover in the next slide. And we also have dedicated programs for pre-arrival clients who are preparing to come to Canada and looking for resources, looking for employment support before their arrival. We also have those programs here at Access. And when it comes to specialized services, we have dedicated programs offered to women, youth, trades. We have programs for bilingual clients for French and English. And we also have programs for newcomer entrepreneurs as well. I have already explained and shared some insights about connections with employers. So we do offer dedicated support to our clients when they join our programs to further help them leverage their connections with employers in Canada, as well as help them expand their professional network by helping them connect with experts in the industry and people who are successful in securing employment in the Canadian labor market in different sectors. Brief information about different programs that we offer here at Access. We offer over 18 programs, and majority of them are either sector-focused programs or bridging programs with general support and dedicated or sector-focused support to our clients who are looking for meaningful employment in a variety of sectors. So this is what I was talking about earlier about dedicated online resources or services, such as online webinars and workshops, and particularly e-access that you can access from our website. Okay, it can be easily located if you go to our website on the main page. E-access is an online resource hub that provides job seekers with information and tools to start their job search. And the best part of accessing e-access and online webinars and workshops that we offer, it does not require a particular eligibility criteria for you to access that. Especially e-access, you can access it from anywhere, inside or outside Canada. And now I would like to talk very specifically about our sector-focused tech programs. So at Access, we have 6 tech programs, such as Information Technology Connections Program or Digital Economy Connections. We also offer a dedicated program for women in technology. We have a program for IT professionals interested in moving their careers to cybersecurity. We also have dedicated program for cloud computing, clients interested in upskilling their Microsoft related skills, Microsoft Skills for Employability program we have. We also offer a dedicated program for youth. It's called IT Accelerator. And now I would speak about the 2 programs that I support with. So the first one is Women in Technology. So how this program helps women to start their careers in Canada. So this program helps newcomer women to begin their career in IT by building essential technology skills in areas such as programming, coding, web development. In addition to industry-specific technical training, Women in Technology program also provides women with an understanding of Canadian workplace culture. So this program has 2 streams. Stream 1 is mainly for those who are just starting their career and it does not require a formal IT background or experience. This program is 10 weeks long. And then we have a stream 2 of the program, which is more for experienced IT women professionals. It is a 9 weeks long program, and we require a minimum of 2 years of IT experience in order to join the stream 2 of Women in Technology program. So the program is physically housed in North York location. However, the delivery format, since pandemic, we have been successfully offering this program online. However, there is an occasional participation required by our participants, as now we have come out of pandemic, to join the in-person hiring and networking events to boost their job search journey and job search success. In terms of funders for this program or sponsors, this program is generously funded by the IRCC, TD Ready Commitment in partnership with IBM. And here's the brief information about the second program that I support with. It's Cybersecurity Connections Program. This program helps internationally trained IT professionals find work in their sector in Canada. Participants gain a better understanding of Canadian workplace culture, cybersecurity concepts, Canadian industry's best practices for information security, and key concepts. So the duration for this a particular program is 8 weeks. However, clients will continue to have access to their learning platform, especially for the technical learning, a lot longer than 8 weeks, because we do understand cybersecurity, though the clients are IT professional. However, it takes a lot longer to fully understand and really work on their technical upskilling when it comes to cybersecurity. So clients will have that extended access to their learning platforms to upgrade their cybersecurity skills. In terms of location, so this program has a national scope. So we offer the program in Toronto for Greater Toronto area clients. We also offer this program for Greater Vancouver clients in BC, as well as in Halifax in Nova Scotia. Asia. The delivery format, once again, the program is offered online with occasional participation in-person events is required by all our program participants. In terms of funder and sponsors for this program, the program is funded in part by the Government of Canada's Foreign Credential Recognition Program, generously supported by TD Ready Commitment, and delivered in partnership with IBM, Mosaic, and iSense. So Mosaic and iSense are our two community partners that help us deliver the program in Vancouver and in Halifax. And both of these programs, I know we might have some folks joined us from outside of Canada. Both of these programs are only for those clients who reside in the related area. So if you're interested in cybersecurity connections program, let's say, and you want to join the program, we look for clients from the Greater Toronto area when we have Vancouver cohorts going. So we look for residents of Vancouver, and then when we offer the program in Halifax, we look for residents of Halifax. So these are, I can say, the programs that you can join once you have arrived in Canada. And Women in Technology is the same. It's very important for you to know and learn about the program components, or what you can gain, or what are some of the benefits of joining Women in Technology and Cybersecurity Connections program. So both programs offered self-directed technical training. So for Women in Technology, we have web development and programming training, both for front-end and back-end web development. And then for cybersecurity, we offer cybersecurity fundamentals, analysis, operations, and solutions related to technical training. We also offer experiential learning projects for both of our programs to help you practice your learned skills, and we offer coaching and related mentoring. We also offer sector-specific job search support during and after the program, and job development will also continue at the program level. It's really till you find job, we continue to support you in your job search journey. In terms of network, we help you build your network with different associations related to tech and employers in the IT industry or tech industry overall. We have advisory committees, we have guest speaker sessions, we also offer a variety of hiring and networking events. As I mentioned earlier, it is the core part of all of our programs and services, what we offer at Access. In terms of communication, we offer dedicated support, sector-specific business communication, coaching and support to our clients, as their majority of our clients are recent immigrants to Canada. So we really help them boost their communication skills, help them understand better the Canadian workplace culture by providing these services. And we also offer services related to job retention coaching. So our goal is that not only that you secure employment in your sector, but also be able to retain and grow in your sector. In terms of the eligibility criteria and fee for this program, I would go over with the immigration status first, because it's very, very important for the folks who have joined us today. For Cybersecurity Connections program, we look for permanent residents, convention refugees, or naturalized Canadian citizens. When it comes to Women in Technology, we look for permanent residents or convention refugees. And when it comes to education, we look for related post-secondary or relevant post-secondary education. And experience, as I very specifically mentioned for both of the program previously as well. So really those who have 1 to 3 years of relevant professional experience, they can come talk to us. However, we have some exceptions for Women in Technology Stream 1, where we do not have that formal expectation that you must have to have a formal technical background, experience, or education. This is more general about both of these programs. So language is also very important, the communication skills. So when it comes to language requirements, we look for Canadian language benchmark level 6 and above. And for both of these programs, and I can very safely say for most of our programs, we do not look for any relevant Canadian work experience, especially IT being the global industry. So there is no requirement for any of our potential clients to join with the Canadian experience. As long as you have international experience and related background, you're welcome to come to talk to us, and we will be happy to support you with your job search needs. In terms of fee for the program, there is no fee associated with Women in Technology and Cybersecurity Connections program. Both of these programs are offered absolutely at no cost. So how you can refer to our program? So you can visit our website, you can call one of our offices and speak with one of our employment consultants. And we also regularly offer different information sessions for most of our programs that we offer at Access. So you can learn more about them by joining one of the information sessions for the interested programs. And here is brief information about our sponsors who have been supporting Access Employment with various initiatives, programs, and services that we offer to our clients. And this information is about what you see on the screen. It's about our funders who have been supporting different programs that we bring to you or to job seekers. And those who are interested in finding out where we are physically located, so we have 7 locations in Greater Toronto area, in Toronto, Scarborough, North York, Mississauga, Brampton, Markham, and Newmarket. And by all means, you can take a quick screen capture of that as well. I'm pretty much towards the end of the presentation. So thank you. You can follow Access Employment to learn more about us on social media. And if you have any particular questions about Women in Technology and Cybersecurity Connections program, the next slide, this is for you. Okay. And before I stop sharing my screen, my information is here. If you want to contact me further to learn more about the 2 programs that I support with, you by all means, you can send me an email. You can take a screen capture of the screen as well, and I'll be happy to assist you with your inquiries. Okay.
Saima, great.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that presentation and a lot of comprehensive details there. So a lot of information is available on CanadianImmigrant.ca, and interestingly, we have a new podcast that was just released yesterday. The link is available on CanadianImmigrant.ca, and there is information about the programs that Access offers. So you could also listen to that podcast. So we're going to take some questions. We have quite a few questions come in, and some of the questions were already answered by Saima during her presentation. So a question that's come up a couple of times: how long does it take to secure a position on average?
So for technology programs, this is where most of my experience, and I also have experience of working with our pre-arrival folks as well. So in my career of working in employment services, and right now it's a little bit, the market is shifting a bit, especially for technology industry. So it generally takes, based on the stats and figures that we look into in our programs, between 3 to 6 months for an active job seeker.
Okay, great. Thank you. And you spoke about information sessions. Are they also available online?
Yes, they are available. They are pretty accessible, actually, through our website as well. If somebody is looking to register for our upcoming info session, they just need to go on our website, look for events. Okay, it's a tab, big and bold. Okay, as they scroll down, they'll be able to locate it.
Okay. Could you touch upon how long the programs run for? You've actually spoken about this, but please go ahead. Maybe it's
For how long we've been offering a Women in Technology and Cybersecurity Connections program?
the duration of these courses.
The duration of the technical learning, I'm sorry, Rami, I want to make sure that I'm responding according to the question.
It's a very general question saying how long do these programs run for? So maybe you could talk about on
Okay.
average.
Yes. Okay. So I'll talk about, okay, there are two ways to look into it. So the number one, the program length. Okay. So we normally have, and for Women in Technology, we have the program 9 to 10 weeks long. Okay. For Cybersecurity Connections, we have 8 weeks long program. And in general, most of our sector focused programs, they are 5 to 8 weeks long. Majority of the programs that we offer at Access Employment. Now, when it comes to technical learning, it is extremely challenging, okay, to learn everything within that limited time. So we do, keep access to the learning platforms for our clients a lot longer than the actual duration of the program, because it takes a while for them to complete the assigned courses when it comes to technical learning. I'm sorry, there are two layers, Ramya, because it's very important for clients to know who joined and they understand. I'm sure folks who have joined us, they understand where I'm coming from. So there are two layers. For somebody want to join the program, it's really, and the two programs that I am representing, the technical training is self-directed. So it's not that you have to really make a schedule. You make your own schedule. It's available 24/7.
Okay, great. That was some excellent information there. If you have additional questions, you could send us an email at info@canadianimmigrant.ca, or Sema also shared her email address at the end of the presentation. So you could also write to her, because there are questions about what if you're based in another city, etc. Just so that you know, Access could provide you with some information, or you could approach a settlement agency in your city or town, and they could also provide you with those connections and information. So maybe a starting point is to email Access to see if they can provide you with further advice. So there are questions, but we're going to move on to our next speaker, if that's okay, Saima.
Wonderful. Thank you so
for-
very much.
Okay, thank you for that great presentation. So next up to join us on the web conference series for internationally trained IT professionals, offered in partnership with Access Employment, is Wilfred Samking. Wilfred is the project manager, IT connections, and cloud computing at Access. So once again, if you have questions for Wilfred, please type them in the chat box or the Q&A buttons, and Wilfred will answer it at the end of the presentation.
Thank you so much, Ramya. Thank you for the introduction. And, good afternoon, everyone from Canada, from abroad. It's fantastic that you all are taking this step and trusting all of us in your journey to finding employment and establishing yourself in Canada. The difficult thing about going after one of your brilliant colleagues is she covered a lot of the things, so I'll try not to repeat as much as possible. And I'm just going to jump into my presentation. And like Ramya said, feel free to put the questions in the chat, and then I'll try to get to them as best as I can when oh, give me a second here. Sorry. Let me see. Some technical difficulties. Okay. There we go.
Yes. Okay.
Let me know if you can see it okay.
Yes, we're good.
Okay, perfect. I just had to give some permissions. Okay, there we go. So my topic, we're going to do a few things today. We're going to dive into my two programs, which are IT and cloud computing, but we're also going to give you a little bit of food for thought on your employment journey. I did see a few questions in the chat here that may be answered throughout this presentation. So connecting beyond the screen, how to enhance your professional tech journey, specifically in Canada. So a little bit about myself. That's a very large photo. I apologize, but my name is Wilfred Sam King. I'm obviously the project manager for IT and cloud computing here at Access. I was born in Freetown, Sierra Leone. I came to Canada as a refugee with my mother and my sister. I'm a technologist, social entrepreneur, marketer, public speaker, and community leader. And I was also a formerly internationally ranked athlete. So I tell you all of this to help illustrate the journey that is Canada and maybe unique to this country, whereby opportunities are not linear. Your path is kind of sporadic. Sometimes you do one thing and then move into another perspective. So for me, I went to the University of Manitoba under scholarship. I was a long jumper / track and field or sprinter. And I always loved technology. Even from when I was very young, I would dismantle a lot of my toys and try to put them back together. And I always kept that spirit of technology and try to keep informed. In university, I majored in economics, psychology, and business. So I started leaning more into digital marketing. And as you all know, digital marketing is moving more and more and more closer to technology. So we're not going to do about Access because Simon did an incredible job about talking about what we do here at Access. But in 2020, I tore my Achilles in preparation for the 2020 Olympic Games. I was shortlisted for Team Canada in hopes to make the Olympics, and all my plans kind of shifted. I thought, you know what, I'll do the whole athlete thing, and then eventually I will move into my career full time. And when that happened, it gave me the opportunity to stop, reflect, and embrace on a new journey, much like so many of you here who have to pivot or are looking to find a way to bring your knowledge from back home or utilize the knowledge that you've already gained and find yourself a successful career path. In doing that, I started thinking, okay, what do I really love? And technology, as I said, from a very young age was at the top of my list. So I built a course for aging adults because I saw the need that unfortunately was a little bit neglected. It was when we all move digitally, a lot of our older friends, parents, people that we knew or cared about were struggling to find themselves online or how to use digital platforms. So I created a course called Staying Connected with a grant that I received. When I started presenting and getting people on the course, which has now over 1,000 students, I'm very happy to share that. I started to realize, okay, I love the aspect of giving back, and then I also love the aspect of merging technology. And lo and behold, that's where Access came to play. With these two portfolios, we were launching the new cloud computing program. So what is happening in the Canadian digital economy forecast? So it used to be called IT, but now it's called digital economy because it's all encompassing. So under moderate digital economic growth scenario, we believe we will see a demand for over 305,000 digitally skilled workers employment in the ICT sector will be approximately 1 million. And that's massive. As we know, Canada is growing, and we do want to be tech leaders. I was at a conference a few weeks ago whereby the Minister of Innovation and Technology was saying, we want to be leaders in AI, we want to be leaders in machine learning, and we also want to be leaders in innovating for the future. So this is a great place to be. Now, what are employers looking for? Well, they're looking for experience with specific business processes, to which ICT. So when we look at IT, sometimes we think, okay, we need to work in a tech company to work in the digital economy or the IT space. What I always recommend is find a space you love. If it's music, if it's healthcare, if it is digital, if it's artistic, whatever that space is, technology exists. And that's where you want to put yourself, because that's where you're going to find the most value and you're going to be the most passionate. Essential communication skills. During our programs, like Simon said, we spend a lot of time on essential communications and team skills. Depending on where you're coming from, team dynamics look a little bit different, especially in Canada. The power distance in Canada is very small. And what I mean by power distance is how we communicate with our superiors, our directors, our vice presidents, our CEOs. In most of North America, the power distance is very low. But I've heard in other parts of the world, you shouldn't even make eye contact with your superiors. Those things are radical shifts whereby you want to be present and known within your workforce. You want to build rapport. You want to build connections within your workplace and your environment in order for you to grow, to retain employment, and obviously find employment. Of course, you need your core technical skills and experience with specific applications and or platforms. So are there new trends, disruptors in the digital economy sector that may impact employment? Absolutely. Everyone's been talking about AI since ChatGPT was left loose. And a lot of people are now a little bit nervous. They're saying, well, I don't know, is my role as a developer going to be obsolete? Am I still going to be able to find meaningful work? The answer is absolutely yes. AI is going to be taking out a lot of the redundant, repetitive tasks. Now, where we need intelligent and brilliant people like you all is on the creative side. How do we make life better? How do we innovate with clean tech? How do we incorporate AI in a way that's sustainable, that is more helpful to the world than it is detrimental? And these are all things that require human beings at the end of the day. So you may see this chart and you may be asking, well, we're talking about technology. Why do we need to talk about your personal brand? Especially in North America and in Canada, you'll hear this more often or not. You need to network, you need to connect. And you may also hear your network is your net worth, meaning how well connected you are gives you the ability to not only go into spaces, find employment, or even find other opportunities that may exist. So how you see yourself is extremely important. How others see you is as important, but you control that. And that's where your personal brand comes into play. So during our programs, we try to emphasize and we try to build confidence, because I know some of you've probably applied for maybe 20, 50 plus roles, may not have even gotten a call back, maybe got one interview. And the reason for that is Canada is unique. It may seem like a large country, but when you extrapolate the IT sector, when you extrapolate how people operate here, it is on a referral and a who knows who basis. So what we try to do at Access is we try to bridge that gap for our newcomers, our IT professionals. We try to make sure that you have an upper hand by introducing you to employers, by bringing you in front of employers, showing you off, and highlighting some of the skill sets and abilities that you have. Throughout this entire process, as you go through your job search journey, I want you to think of yourself as a personal brand, meaning you want to highlight your skills, you want to highlight your knowledge, you want to highlight the projects and your abilities. Back to that earlier slide, what are employers looking for? Employers are not necessarily looking for the person with all the credentials, but they are looking for someone that can innovate within the space, that can be an entrepreneur, that can work without needing to be told what to do next on every single step. And we hear this time and time again. When there's shortages for roles, employers are saying, well, we just want someone with an appetite to learn, and we want someone who has the ability and flexibility to learn. And that's not everyone. As you continue on this journey and build your brand, your personal brand and your professional brand, this is very important. So how do you define your personal brand? So obviously, the first thing you think of is probably LinkedIn. That's the closest thing to the professional social network. It is the professional social network, sorry, I should say. But what does it mean? When, I'll give you a fact. On LinkedIn, and you can type this in the chat, how many people or active users do you believe create content? Give me a percentage. So it can be 10, it can be 5, it can be 20, it can be 30, it can be 40. What percentage do you think? And you can just type that into the chat really quick. I'll give you about 30 seconds. I'm going to take a peek here. Okay. We're seeing 20%, see 1%, 5%, 30%, 3%, 5, 10%, 5%, 10%. So it hovers around 2 to 4% depending on the region and depending on the sector. So what does that mean? So that means the LinkedIn algorithm is hungry for content, and not just a sales content, but content that shows your skill set, whereby you can add knowledge to a topic, conversation, or something that's going on in the world. And why is this important? When an employer or a potential recruiter now goes to your page and sees that you are leading a conversation in a space that is relevant to what you want to do, it creates a stronger knowledge base, and it creates a more holistic view of you as a candidate. So as you build your professional network and your professional brand and your personal brand, keep in mind that you want to showcase your knowledge. There's the expression, if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did the tree really fall, or did the tree make a sound? Unfortunately, in Canada, it's a little bit like this. You won't get any recognition for all your abilities or your knowledge unless you are the one showcasing it. And I know it's uncomfortable for a few of us here to kind of put yourself out there to illustrate some of the things that you know, because you might say, oh, well, I don't want to show off. You've worked hard for your credentials. You've worked extremely hard to be technically savvy in what you do, and you are fantastic at it, or you have a great competency in it. Why not show it off? Especially on a platform like LinkedIn, where you have the ability, and the algorithm will actually help you, meaning if you post on Facebook or you post on Twitter or X, now that it's called, or whatever the other platforms, there's probably a time limitation about 36 hours where people will view it. LinkedIn, it will constantly find people to show your content, because once again, only 2 to 5%, 2 to 4% of people are posting on that platform. So take advantage of it. You also want to know your core values. Back to the points I made earlier, whereby we spoke about technology is massive, but technology is also everywhere. Find your niche, find what you truly love, and spend time there trying to break into that space. Because chances are, if you love something, your knowledge base matched with your technical skills are going to allow you to make greater impact. You also want to know what you want to achieve. Are you wanting to be a contractor? Are you wanting to be freelance? Are you want to be a digital nomad? Start to think about these things, because that's also going to shape where you want to be. The worst thing is to be in a role, maybe the salary's okay, but every morning you dread waking up. I love waking up every morning thinking I'm coming to Access. I get an opportunity to meet people like you all, and that's comforting, because if I dreaded work every morning, some mornings are tough, of course, like today was a little bit cold, but overall, I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to share with you all. Now, for these next ones, I'll just speed through. What are you most knowledgeable or passionate about? What tone of voice would you like to use? Do you want to be friendly? Do you want to be more professional? Are you an academic? These are all things that matters, because in a sports world, if you try to be extremely technical and tell them about how the CPU on your computer should be, how your transfer or your refresh rate or whatever highly technical skills, they'll say whatever. But if you tell them or you speak their language, it might be more beneficial to connecting. Vice versa in academia. If you start to say, hey, it's like this, use slang, da 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 da, you may not be able to resonate. So understand what tone you want to use. How will you best communicate your message to your target audience? So your target audience are your peers, because your peers are going to be the ones that are going to push you up. They're going to be the ones that also comment, interact, have the conversation. But the ones that are already employed, when that roll call happens, and trust me, this happens a lot in Canada, where they're like, hey, we have this position, and the first place they look is the current employees, and they ask the current employees, they say, do you know anyone that could fill this role? And sometimes there's incentives for the employees in the form of monetary, and sometimes it's just an organization will trust their existing employees because they say, well, if this person's good, they probably know other good people. Now, if you are standing out, you're giving yourself an opportunity to be found. That's another tactic. The last one is, who are you and what is your position in the industry? Once again, tying it all together, having a sense of self, making sure you're confident in where you want to be and what you want to do. All right, so that's the digital space. You also want to get out there. There's tons of events, there's tons of organizations and associations. So that's why you need to connect beyond the screen. And this one is probably the most difficult, because no one truly likes to go to a space where they don't know anyone. You have your hands in your pockets, you're looking up and down. But you want to start doing that. Here at Access, fortunately, you'll have the guide of someone from one of our teams, either an EC or an EL or maybe a project manager, a program manager, that will go to these events with you, or you'll have your cohorts that will be at the event as well. So it kind of takes away the nerves a little bit, right? However, you do want to start putting yourself out there now that things are being opened up, because it's a lot easier to have conversations or multiple conversations at these events. Let them know your skill sets and ask them, is your organization hiring? What's going on? What are they looking for in the field currently? So we do need to leave these screens a little bit, and hopefully one day we'll start to have these maybe in a hybrid model whereby we can do meet and greets and different things like that. So here's an alumni testimonial where we're just going to go through it. This is Florin. He's one of our alumni, and he's going to talk about his journey. Just going to make sure our computer sound.
January of 2018 or February, I was able to get into the class. By the way, this whole class is like Harvard. It's hard to get in. So when I moved to Canada, I took the program against the wishes of I didn't say this before, but against the encouragement of my parents. They were like, hey, you need to, get a job. I said, Mommy, I get it. I know I'm going to lose some money, but I need whatever this program is offering. So I knew we were doing the right thing. but I wasn't making money. But I knew that after this, I can apply for jobs and I can get a job. Yeah. So I did it. And by the way, I always wanted to be in a leadership position. So a lot of people are afraid of that, but
Yeah.
I always wanted to do it. So I asked to lead the team of 20. And it was our class, was the first class where we did a real life program with a real life company. It was good. Everybody's talking about Canadian experience. It's just have an experience with a real life company. So now on my resume, led a team of 20. So that was great. So that was successful. So it's on my resume. And then I got a job at a wealth management firm. They make software for wealth management firms. Really pioneers, really entrenched. So they gave me the biggest clients that has 280 billion in assets. I'm like, you guys trust me this much? Okay, I'll do it. And I wasn't afraid of the responsibility.
So of course
My name is
we're extremely proud of Flolaren and all our other alumni, but his story is not unique. We have so many success stories. Now, what are the components of the IT connections? There's a job search, Canadian workforce culture, experiential learning, Accenture mentorship, all the things that I've already talked about, and a safe training component for your technical component. The cloud computing is also very similar. It has almost everything the IT connection has, except instead of the safe agile training, it is the AWS solutions architect training. So both of these programs, the eligibility criteria is for IT is 3 years of international IT experience. For cloud computing, it is 2, and we accept refugee claimants, permanent residents, and Canadian citizens as well, if you have not found employment in the IT space since you've been in Canada. So recent graduates have been hired by all these organizations. And that concludes my presentation. I'm sure there's questions, and thank you all so much for taking the time to listen. I'm going to stop the share now and take questions if we have time. Sorry.
We have time. Absolutely. A lot of questions on our list. Let's see how far we get. But first, I want to say thank you for sharing your personal journey. And I like what you said about adapting. You know, here's the star athlete who decides to, he has to change course, and you do it with a positive attitude. So I think that's a learning for all of us, not just immigrants or newcomers, but all of us to maintain that mindset. And thank you for also focusing on both hard skills and soft skills, because they're both equally important in finding employment in Canada.
Thank you.
Yeah, there are a lot of other things you brought up, but I'm just going to go into the questions. So how are the classes divided? Are they more theoretical or practical?
So they are very practical. Now, I would say the theoretical components are typically the technical learning. So once again, you have about 2 weeks of job search, whereby you're going to do your resume critique, you're going to do your mock interviews, you're going to do your cover letter, whereby you're physically actually practicing and changing those things. So that's very hands-on. Whereas your technical training, that is more theoretical. But with on the cloud computing side, you do get about 2 days whereby you get to use hands-on learning and tools like that.
Okay, great. Thank you. And someone's asked for Wilfred's contact. It's in the chat, wsamking@accessemployment.ca. So that's also in the chat if you'd like to take down his email. You talked about creating LinkedIn content. If I repost an article with a comment, does that count as a post? And a related question, sorry, is what kind of content?
Absolutely, and that's extremely important. And for all of you, please feel free to add me on LinkedIn as well. Now, a link and a post is probably the easiest way. However, people know when you're being lazy, in terms of if you just say AI is great and I love to use ChatGPT. once again, you want to use your knowledge, you want to unpack, you also want to try to start conversations. So if you don't know what to say, pose a question to your connections, and then below that question, maybe put, I think it's da 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 da. Because if someone that's interested in that space, and once again, the algorithm is built like that, if someone's interested in that space, they're going to jump in and try to have a conversation, try to bring in their connections. And that is where you're going to be really pushing yourself, or you're showcasing yourself, I should say, and differentiating yourself from the crowd. Because recruiters and hiring managers, they truly do look for people that aren't just, no offense, are in the pack.
Okay, thank you for that great advice. Here's a very general question. What would you say are average salaries for those who complete your programs?
It's 85,000. That's a number that we know very handedly. That's a number we're very proud of. Now, that's the average. And it doesn't mean everyone's going to get 85,000. It does skew, because we have some absolute rock stars that come here. They go to $250,000, and we're like, hey, more power to you. Once you're a millionaire, please come back and help with some speaking sessions and different things. And then we also have people that are at the 60, 55 range. And sometimes people with larger gaps, for instance, in the cloud computing, we've had mothers that have had families and they were in the tech space, and now they're coming back to the tech space. It's a little bit different, but they have a new technical certification, and they are now, unfortunately, kind of starting in an entry level. So they might be at that $55,000-$60,000 a year. But we really try to stay away from internships, because that's at the 40, 35,000 range. Because what we try to do with the programs is what you were doing back home or what you were doing in your profession, we try to match that or go higher. We don't try to just find you a position.
Okay, great. The one thing I have heard though is that sometimes people start at lower positions if they don't find the same level, and they work their way up.
Absolutely.
So I think it's all about expectations as well, that you have to be prepared to, like you did, adapt. So thank you for that. I think if you have more questions, you can write to Wilfred directly. So I'm going to now go to our next speaker. Thank you, Wilfred. Thank you again.
Thank you, everyone.
So our final speaker for today is Kat Sire, and she's joined by John Quinn. They're both from Lighthouse Labs. So Kat, go ahead, and before Kat begins, please keep typing your questions in the chat, sending us questions at info@canadianimmigrant.ca, or use the Q&A buttons. So Kat, please go ahead.
Awesome, thank you so much. Oof, I'm glad I changed my presentation for today, because it was almost identical to Wilfred. So I hope everybody in the audience was paying attention. Networking is so key to job search in this economy. All right, my name is Kat Sire. I'm the admissions manager for Lighthouse Labs. I started my journey with Lighthouse Labs in the career services department. So the really cool thing is that I've gotten to see kind of both ends of the caterpillar, students coming into our tech school and then also leaving and, gaining that first employment. So it's been a really cool journey. Today, what we're going to be talking about is micro-learning and the Canadian job market. So according to CanadianBusiness.com, January 13th, 2022, Canada is facing a significant skills shortage in areas including technology, healthcare, hospitality, to name a few. This is a challenge that, according to the Bank of Canada's Business Outlook survey, is constraining business growth. In 2020, Ontario announced it was investing $59.5 million over 3 years towards micro-credential strategies to encourage workers to take short courses to access more opportunities or upskill for in-demand jobs. The government of BC also allocated a $5 million in 2021 to help workers upskill with micro courses at post-secondary schools, and Alberta also launched a micro-credential pilot project in 2022. These efforts show promise of big payoff. According to May 2021 report from Higher Education Quality Council of Ontario, 60% of employers said that micro-credentials would increase their confidence in a prospective employee's skills and favored courses that were competency-based, accredited, and directly related to jobs at hand. So most of you know formal education, and most of you are familiar with universities and colleges, but micro-learning such as boot camps, both in Canada and the US, are gaining more ground and credibility. The great thing about them is that they can get you into the Canadian and tech ecosphere in a short amount of time, and it's primarily hands-on practical learning. This style of learning also gives you an idea of what the Canadian workplace is like, because we try and simulate the environment as much as possible. So before we dive into what a boot camp is and the benefits, a word from our sponsors. So we are thrilled to be participating in an incredible event and proudly going on a whole roadshow with the Canadian Immigrant Fair across the country as part of ICT Boost. So ICT Boost is a groundbreaking initiative that we launched earlier this year. And with it, our goal is to help people enter Canada's tech sector and also ensure that tech is more inclusive and welcoming for all, including underrepresented groups and new immigrants. Under the umbrella of ICT Boost, we offer an array of fully funded programs for job seekers and employers. This initiative receives partial funding from the Government of Canada through the SWSP program by ESDC. Ooh, I'll just warm my mouth up for those letters. I got it though. Our offerings for job seekers include essential skills workshops that equip participants with valuable abilities, such as mastering the art of negotiating in the workplace and creating memorable pitches for employment. You will also get a certificate that you can proudly showcase on LinkedIn. So you can do exactly what Wilfred was talking about with your certificates from the essential skills workshops. And you can talk about how awesome they were and how much you learned about them. So easy content, Wilfred, there you go. I just gave it to you. But moreover, we have career workshops like the one I'm conducting today, along with many more beneficial programs and services. All right, so I'll talk about us a little bit. So Lighthouse Labs, we focused our education into the 4 areas of the tech industry: web development, cybersecurity, data science, and data analytics. And as you can see from our student outcomes report, this is an effective way to enter the job market, either as a junior or someone new to the country. We have students with a wide range of experience, from Starbucks to doctor and everywhere in between. This is one of the best things working in career services, is talking to folks that have just graduated and talking about their journeys and where they've been. So believing in people is our purpose, training you to be job ready is our business, and launching your career is our passion. We are a tech organization founded in 2013 that has launched 4,000 careers in tech and introduced over 40,000 Canadians to the practice of coding, data science, and cybersecurity. We have a brilliant team of staff, instructors, and mentors who are passionate about tech and tech education. We're completely online and have students from across Canada and beyond. So for those of you that are joining from abroad, we take international students as well. We believe everyone should have access to quality tech education in a format that's really convenient for them and aligns with their dreams, career expectations, and their lifestyle. Oh, this phrase, we exist to make tech-enabled change a source of opportunity for all. These really are words that we live by here. We believe in inclusion, we believe in opportunity, and we believe in you. So today, I'm just going to give you the lowdown on information about what the student experience is like here, why micro-learning can be right for you, and then just info and benefits on the program and much more. So let's just dive into details about our student experience. It's an amazing program. It's an amazing experience. And please, if you have any questions along the way, remember to pop them into the chat. When choosing this style of learning, you'll be immersed in the material and a national community of classmates, alumni, mentors, instructors, and staff, all with common interests. This is a really great way of starting to build your network. It's also, the quickest path into a tech career. Again, whether you're coming from, no background or background from your home country, it's a great way to be able to enter the sector. Our curriculum is curated by professionals and in alignment with industry needs and practices. You'll receive one-on-one support and mentorship from the application stage, in the program, after graduation. We'll talk about our career services for life. There's a broad range of topics taught comprehensively and thoroughly in a condensed time frame. Challenging, yeah, absolutely. But you'll have support from our whole team and your peers throughout the journey. Oftentimes, the best way to learn is to teach. We know learning styles and methods vary between individuals, and we work really hard to give each student an experience that's tailored to their needs to ensure optimal outcomes. We really do want to make sure tech and tech jobs are available for everyone. All of our programs are fully online, which means you don't have to travel. And we're over pajamas, so you could still dress up for it. And last but certainly not least, the programs are rewarding. Going through these programs takes perseverance and dedication, but what you get in return is so amazing. Like I said, I was in career services, so I got to see people on day one. Their shoulders were up at their ears and they were thinking, holy crap, what did I get myself into? And then once they were at the end of the program and presenting their capstone project at our demo day, their shoulders were down, their chests were puffed up. Yes, they were exhausted, but they're so filled with pride and just accomplishment. It's definitely that top of the mountain conquering look and feeling. So now our programs have two options. We have a full-time and a flexible option. And no matter which subject you choose and delivery method, the curriculum is exactly the same. It really is just the schedule that changes. So you can either choose the full-time program, which is fully immersed, 10 to 12 hours a day. You're in, you're out, you get the job done. Or you can also choose the flexible program. So, 25 hours a week, 2 lectures a week. This is really so that you can, include life responsibilities, right? Such as a part-time job or family commitment. And since the pandemic, more employers have moved to either a fully or partially remote work environment. And these programs set students up for success by mirroring the professional workflows and using the same tools and resources many workplaces use day to day. So different tools like, oh, I think my mouse has got a mind of its own. There we go. All right, we're back on track. Okay, so tools like Zoom, VS Code, LiveShare, Discord, GitHub, and Google Meet, to name a few. So let's talk about support in a nutshell. We really have So during the program, a dedicated student support team will be on hand for real-time help when you need it. The admissions enrollment team will start you off by answering any questions you have during your application process, your tech test, your logic test, your prep courses, and anything you need up until day one. The education team is comprised of student success coordinators, education managers, and they're there to offer you encouragement or to kick you in the butt, whatever you need at that time. And they're great and full of tips and tricks for the program. And then we can't forget our professionals, so our mentors and instructors. These are industry professionals that'll help you from our live lectures to our one-on-one support. And the awesome part, again, this is part of growing your network, right? These are working professionals that you can talk to them about their career and their path and how they got into the industry. And again, I'm going to say this later, I'm jumping ahead of myself, but the best part about having a network is that you can start today, right? You don't have to have one to grow one. Boot camps really aren't just about the classroom, the curriculum, the hard skills, the knowledge. There's so much more to a boot camp that makes it a viable education solution for everyone, no matter their skill level. So we include stretch learning that's optional. So someone coming from a tech background can not only refresh the basics, but go above and beyond. And as we said, we simulate the Canadian work environment from teamwork, communication, time management, expectations. This is a really great way to show employers that you know the work culture. All of our work is project-based, so you're really getting hands-on experience of what it's like in the workforce. And then networking. I think between myself and Wilfred, we can't stress this enough. Networking is the most important thing in Canada. It's who you know that's going to get you in the door, but then it's going to be what you know that gets you the job. So this is a really great way to start growing your network with your peers, the alumni community afterwards, and also introductions to employers. So the last one is student experiences. We have events throughout boot camp and afterward. This is going to give you industry insights, employer highlights, and hearing from past alumni that have gone on and grown successful careers. So as you can see, while this is a fast-paced learning program, there are many benefits, right? So we already talked about your career-ready education, the valuable soft skills that you're going to get during the program, the community that you get that's attached to the education. Lifetime curriculum access is another one. So you, for life, you get access to the curriculum in its current iteration. So as we grow and learn, as technology grows and learn, your curriculum is going to grow and learn as well. All of our programs are diploma programs, so you are graduating with a diploma. And while you're in the boot camp, you begin to build your project so that you can begin to build your portfolio that you're going to use in job search. And we've talked about a lifetime, lots of things, but another one you get is lifetime career services. So right from application to graduation and beyond, Lighthouse Labs Career Services is really a key element in all of these programs. Our team will work with you to focus your job search and expose you to opportunities in your community. So these are some of the things that you can expect, one-on-one career coaching, resume and portfolio review, interview training, both for culture fit interviews and technical interviews. We do employer outreach and events, workshops, both in boot camp and out of boot camp, and then that lifetime piece. So this is really cool, and it sets us apart from our competitors, is the ability to return and get support as you move through your career. That was, again, when I was part of Career Services, that was one of the roles that I did, and it was just so incredible. We were getting people back from 2013, 2014, 2015 that are now going into, intermediate and senior roles, and just, talking with them about their experience and helping them move on to that next thing. So let's talk about financing. So tech education is an investment just not only in your career, but also in your personal life. Your goals, your aspirations, it opens up a whole new world, right? Salaries, flexible work arrangements, excellent growth opportunities. With that being said, we know that coming up with the upfront cost for that investment might be a bit of a challenge. So we've put together a number of avenues that might be available to you to fund your education depending on the province you live in. So please check out our website and check out our financial guide to see what you qualify for. Now, let's go back to talking about our students and who they are. I want to highlight some characteristics we've seen in students that have played a big role in their success, both at Lighthouse Labs, but also into their new careers. So students that are focused, right? The more time and energy and space that you can provide not only to your learnings, but also, going into your job search and your work itself is going to be, going to set you up for success, right? It's the same thing, same adage as you hear in other places is the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And speaking of that, your commitment, right? Students need to commit themselves to seeing this program through. So this includes trusting the process, trusting your own ability, and making sure you've committed, enough time and energy and space to be able to, work through the program. And the next one is resiliency. These programs are challenging. There's going to be lots, and I mean lots of ups and downs. And resiliency isn't just getting up after you fall. Resiliency is also when you're down there being like, oh, this sucked. Okay, you know what? I have determination because that's the next thing. And I'm going to use that to pull myself up to learn the lessons that I needed to learn from that fall and then keep going. Right? And then that brings us into determination. So that's, again, going to feed your resilience. The program can feel like a sprint some days and a marathon the others. And I've completed 5 marathons. I get it. You know, at about kilometer 27, you're just like, no, just kidding. I don't actually want to finish this. I'm good. I can just, you know, there's a beautiful park over here. I'm just going to go walk in. But the thing is, once you get to that finish line, it is the best day of your life. And that, you know, having that finish line in mind is really what's going to pull you through. And the last thing is prepared. So every bit of preparation you do before day one is definitely going to set you up for success. So really, you know, setting, you know, you're studying in your preparation stuff, talking to your family about this commitment, meal prep so that you're not eating ramen and pizza every day. So the more that you can prepare, the more that sets you up for success. So speaking of success, I want to talk to you about one of our graduates. This is Minu. She's a great success story of a Canadian entering the tech scene. So she's from India. She was an engineer trainee when she began her career, and from there she moved up to becoming a subdivisional engineer. And then after she got married, her husband took a job in Switzerland, and shortly thereafter gave birth to her son. Minu decided to take a break from her career and focus on the very important job of being a mother, a period in her life that she says that she'll cherish forever. So once he began school, she was ready to go back to work, and she was really passionate about French language and decided to start her career as a French educator. Then another move brought them to Canada, and once she landed on Canadian soil, she needed a career that would give her stability. So Minu enrolled in our cybersecurity program to launch her career into the tech industry. She just graduated a few months ago, and we really couldn't be more proud of her. So like I said in the beginning, we're offering intensive training above and beyond our normal courses, and we have some workshops coming up. Like I mentioned, this training is available at no cost to eligible applicants thanks to the ICT Boost initiative. So September 20th, mindfulness at work, September 27th, strategies to promote wellness, and we'll have more coming up on our calendar after that as well. Again, please check out our website to learn out more. You know, you can read our curriculums there. You can get our student outcomes report, attend an info session, or chat with a learning advisor as well. So in order to do that, you don't have to look us up. You can just hit the QR code right here, and please stay connected with us. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a pleasure, and I am totally open for any questions.
Thank you, Kat. Is John going to be making a presentation as well?
He's just there. He was helping me in the chat.
Okay, great. So welcome to John
He's
as
no
well.
backup singer today.
We can't see you, John, but thank you for being here with Kat. So a few different questions. Let's see. What would you say are differences between these programs and that from a university or a college?
Yeah, I love that question. We get it all the time. So, you know, I can't talk about what they do. I can only talk about what we do. You know, our learning, like I said, throughout this whole thing is hands-on. So you're going to be learning by doing. We actually have a flipped classroom model, which means you learn first and then you get the lecture. So then once you start with the basic skills and you learn them, and that's the frustrating part, is you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then you get to lecture, you know, halfway through the day, you know, your instructor is going to talk about, you know, the different ways that you could have done it, the things that you stumbled on, that kind of thing. And it's going to take your learning and enhance it. right? So, most traditional classrooms give you the basics and let you go and learn it. We ask you to learn the basics first, and then we build on that. Another thing that really sets us apart is time. Like I said, we have either the two different programs, speed or flexibility, right? We really want to get you to market as fast as possible. And fully comprehensive. So our web development program is full stack. Our data science works through all, touches on, and data science is such a huge, huge, huge topic. So we just touch on a whole bunch of different things so that you can really figure out in your workplace, like, what is it that I have a real passion for, right? Is it data engineering? Do I want to pull and mine data? Is it analysis? You really want to build those tableaus and work with stakeholders and present them. But is it building models, and is it going into touching into the machine learning and AI stuff? And then cybersecurity as well, right? We're very focused on blue team. And so really getting into the industry and being able to, again, and cybersecurity is the same. There's 52 different recognized titles within the NIST organization in cybersecurity. That's a massive industry. And so we just give you the ability to get into the workforce and start figuring out what it is, and or do you want to be a generalist, or do you want to find your niche? And then the last thing is our career services for life. So I think that is a really big one. Our student outcomes report goes through very vigorous numbers. We don't just count anything as a job, right? You have to be using your skills. You have to be full-time, has to be 2 months or more. It can't be volunteer work. We don't count, those kind of things. And so when we're looking at our numbers, they're really legit numbers.
Okay, thank you. And I guess these are two related questions. Well, how big are your classes? What is your class size?
Yeah, so we don't have a set number, but we have figured out how to work within that. So, a typical class size is about 20 students, but we have had up to 70 before in one cohort. And so we've, gone and looked at how do we make sure that when we have that kind of student numbers, that we're still looking at delivering that individualized approach, because that is so, so, so important to us.
Okay, great. And do you have access? Will I have access to an alumni network?
Yes, this is, again, I think that's what sets us apart as well, is we have a huge alumni network. We're all on Discord, and there's lots of different alumni events. You can talk to different alumni. The cool thing with being open since 2013, it's our 10-year anniversary this year. And so the cool thing is all of those people are on the Discord community and interacting with each other. And so it's really awesome seeing, those graduates who are now hiring managers, who are now lead devs, who are now senior devs, are coming back and using our network and our pipeline as a first stop for those jobs, right? So you're not going to see them posted on LinkedIn or Indeed because they're hitting our job board first.
That's great. Congratulations on your 10th year anniversary. And I meant to say this earlier, Kat, 5 marathons? Really? Wow, congratulations. Like, that's amazing.
Thank you. It's so I can eat ice cream.
It's totally amazing. Very inspiring. Next question. Are these courses in English only, or are they offered in French as well?
They are only English at this time.
Okay. Okay. And then let's see. Where is do these programs have scholarships? Do you offer scholarships?
Yeah, and that's what I touched on in our funding slide, is that we recognize that cost could be something as a barrier, and we don't want that to be. So we have partnered with most of the provinces for student aid, and then there's different funding options as well. So the best thing to figure out what you're qualified for is to be able to just apply, go through the application process, and talk to a learning advisor.
Okay. And are most of your attendees I don't know if this matters, but are they PRs or are there people who have what is this? One sec. Who have survival jobs?
And yeah,
I
no, I
guess.
get what that means. Yeah, that means something to me.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes, we have Canadian citizens, PRs, refugees, we have temporary permits, we have international students, the people that are working, or the people that are living in Canada with survival jobs. If you're doing the full-time program, you do have to be able to fund yourself for the 3 months because you can't work. And then after that, our career services works with you because we understand, our stats are the same thing as access. It's about 3 to 6 months to get a job as well, is what we're finding also. So, you're really looking at 9 months without employment, right? So we totally get that you need to have a survival job post boot camp, and our career services will work with you and your timing and how much you can put into job search.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to wrap up by saying thank you, Kat. Thank you for sharing a real life story. Thank you for talking about the importance of resilience, preparation, and keeping your goal in mind. A very informative and inspiring presentation. So thank you for that, and thank you for John. Thank you to John for responding to the questions. So everyone, yeah, absolutely. So thank you to everyone for attending our web conference series that we were able to offer in partnership with Access Employment. Special thanks to Saima, Wilfred, Kat, and John for joining us today and sharing their skills and experience with everyone. So if you missed anything, this web conference is being posted on our website for you to rewatch. It's also being posted on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. And if you still have questions for us, yes, please email us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca, or all the speakers have shared their email information. So feel free to email them. And one more thing I'd like to add before we end is if you happen to be in the Vancouver area, don't miss our Canadian Immigrant Fair happening on October 26th at the Vancouver Convention Center. You can find out more about a fair near you at canadianimmigrant.ca/career fair. And please do sign up for our newsletter. You can find the sign up button on our homepage. So you can keep posted about events, webinars, and we often have articles from experts in the field. For instance, Kat, I'd love to invite you to write an article for us, or I just said that somebody from Access Employment, Manjeet Timan, is actually featured in our recent podcast. So we have real life experiences, like a lot of great advice coming through these different sources. So thank you to all our speakers and our attendees, and have a great day.